Okay, case 8.
All right. So we see this like kind of exovitic papule look, with kind of almost looks like there's some peripheral hyperkeratosis, so maybe like collarette.
Yep.
But I'm seeing like kind of this vascular dermal tumor with lobular architecture.
Good. Yeah, nice
Um,
lobules, really nice lobules, right?
yeah.
A little disorganized up here, but even here, if I go to low power, you can kind of highlight lobules here. Multiple little rounded areas packed together, better formed rounded areas down here and here and here. Nice lobularity, really great feature for this.
Sure.
So,
And on higher power, I think we should see some, I mean, even from here, like the round lumen, and there's some like fibrous, like septation between the individual like vascular channels.
yep.
I don't see any like inflammation. It's not very hypercellular around it. No atypia that I can appreciate. So I think this is good for a pyogenic granuloma or a lobular capillary hemangioma.
Very good. Yeah. And so the great thing to remember is that even though the name pyogenic granuloma, it's like a double misnomer because sometimes they're not pyogenic or pus forming at all. It's true that majority of them, I say that I see, are ulcerated with a bunch of inflammatory, neutrophil-rich scaled crust on the top and often bacterial colonies and stuff, nasty, gooey looking stuff on the surface. But they don't have to have that. There are plenty of them that don't have any ulceration and no neutrophils, okay? The ones that are ulcerated and have a lot of neutrophils, they tend to look more inflamed. The endothelial cells are bigger. You'll find more mitoses. They're revved up and kind of look like granulation tissue. So you don't have to have that, though. And there's nothing about this that's a granuloma. It's a granuloma in the old school kind of clinical sense of it's a kind of a fleshy, dermal-based nodule that's lifting up the skin. And that's, I think, where the name originally came from. I actually don't know the original paper, but that's my assumption. That's where the name came from. So the other name for these is lobular capillary hemangioma. And so I usually use both names in my diagnostic line because pyogenic granuloma is a misnomer, but it's been around for so long that people know what it means, right? They're usually bright red lesions. They grow rapidly. They're often in kids or young adults. They can be on the fingers, the lips, but can occur almost any site. They seem to have an increased incidence in pregnancy, and they can be kind of scary because they grow quickly, and especially once they ulcerate, they can clinically look almost identical to amelanotic nodular melanoma. So I feel like, to me, anything that looks like a PG should be biopsied, in my opinion, just to be sure that it's not a nodular melanoma. Also, who wants a painful, rapidly growing, especially if it ulcerates and gets, nasty and gooey and inflamed? Who wants that on their skin, right? They do, even after biopsy, they do have a decent risk of local recurrence. They're not malignant at all, but they can grow back because they often go down to the base like this. So some of those people, after removing them, will cauterize them to reduce that. I've heard of people putting salt on them. I don't know if there's actually peer-reviewed studies for that, but I think unless it's numb, that would hurt bad. But in any case, if you shave one of these off and then it recurs in a month or a few weeks, don't be surprised. That doesn't mean, oh no, it's malignant. It's really common for these to recur. So I like that you put out the lobularity. It's usually polypoid, kind of sessile polyp with a broad, sessile means broad base, rather than like the narrow base of a kind of pedunculated polyp. And then it usually has a collarette at both sides, meaning epidermis and usually an eccrine duct. You can't always see the duct. Scoop down underneath. Oh, here, you can see the duct over here. Scoop down underneath and kind of wrap around under the edges of the thing. And there's a handful of entities in dermpath that have a tendency to do that, and pyogenic granuloma / lobular capillary hemangioma is one of those. And yes, so that's pretty much all the things. And this one may have actually started to regress. They do sometimes regress on their own, at least partially. When in their earlier stages, they tend to be even more juicy and cellular than this. The lobules are bigger, more cellular, and again, can look almost solid. But if you do stains like CD34 or 31, 34 actually works really great for PG because the background is usually dirty in 34, but it's clean here because this is not normal dermis. This is all new tissue pretty much here. Normal dermis stains with CD34, but new kind of fibrosis, young scar granulation tissue, which is what the background kind of is here, edematous young scar tissue basically, doesn't have much CD34 at all. So at 34 and an actin look beautiful. I have a huge PG digital slides on my Kiko index, probably one of the biggest ones I've seen. It was between the toes of an adult, and I I did stains on that for teaching. So if you want to see an example of what it looks like, you can go and look at the stains there. Pretty nice. Okay. But yeah, so they can be quite cellular early on, but if they've been either treated with silver nitrate or cautery or something conservative or been biopsied and regrown, they will often show more stroma in the background and less vascularity. So don't be surprised if you see a PG like this that has a lot of fibrosis or edema without as many vessels as you expect, or a big zone that's kind of scar-like with minimal vessels, and then a cellular zone over here. Also, normally there are going to be dilated channels that are feeder vessels because the blood has to come from somewhere. So that's really common. Sometimes, though, as they kind of progress, the small channels and lobules go away, but the feeder vessels are still there. Okay. If you just called this hemangioma, okay, nothing bad would happen. That's still fine. It is a hemangioma. And remember, the last little point is, acronyms can be great, but they can be dangerous. In derm, we have two PGs. Pyogenic granuloma, this lesion, a vascular lesion, and pyoderma gangrenosum, which is usually neutrophil rich, kind of immune associated inflammatory ulcerative process. Totally different things. And even as a dermapath, I occasionally get tongue tied on those. And so I always double check to make sure I'm using the right PG when I'm talking about it. Okay. Just note to self, especially for learners, be cautious about that. So benign lobular capillary hemangioma, aka pyogenic granuloma.